Luckily he's in prison, yes, but his family and friends were just thinking of different things to like check in hospitals to see if he is hospitalized, if he got the corona, if he's fine, if he's still alive.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Minky and thank you so much for tuning in today. In today's video I want us to talk about something. Let's just have a little conversation about living as a foreigner in China. Now I recently heard of the South African guy who went missing in late January, right? And how I got to know about him was just through different groups, because WeChat is a big platform here. It's like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, all in one. Most people in China depend on WeChat for information. And a lot of South Africans were sharing this information about him to help locate him in different WeChat groups throughout the country. And then I saw his pictures in a couple of WeChat groups, and I began to follow his case. Like I began to pay attention to what was going on. This guy's name is Alpha Mbechai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he was studying in Jeju University in Hangzhou Pro. When this unfortunate thing happened to him, his friends didn't know what to think, because currently China is going through a corona epidemic. It's so massive that you just never know. When something like this happens, you just automatically think of the worst. Luckily he's in prison, yes, but his family and friends were just thinking of different things to like check in hospitals to see if he is hospitalized, if he got the corona, if he's fine, if he's still alive. Why I think that this guy his case is just a bit different is because he's been living in China for about 5 years, and this was probably his 5th or 6th year. And for him to just disappear like that and nobody knew where he was, his family was looking for him, desperately looking for him. They were looking for answers. His friends actually are the ones who contacted his family back in SA to say, we can't locate this guy and we don't know his whereabouts. He's not picking up our calls, he's not responding to our messages. So it came to light that he last spoke to his mother on the 18th of January, and he last spoke to one of his friends on the 24th of January. And that means the 24th was the last time anybody had anything from him, and then he just disappeared without a trace. As soon as you leave the borders of your country, you have very limited rights. Like even legally, sometimes it's very hard to get proper legal presentation. But before I get into that, I just want to say that the government of South Africa the embassy was in contact with the Chinese authorities this side to try and locate this guy, and his school just was like, we don't know where he is and where he might have possibly went, because according to his friends, they were supposed to live to Thailand. And that's when, like, from there on, like, he just disappeared, and then everybody was all over searching for him. So the government was trying to locate him. And by the way, China is a very huge country with a huge population, but what I can say is that they have a good system of tracking people. Like, you can never do anything here and get away with it. They have cameras literally everywhere. I remember recently there was a girl who went missing in my school. She's on a different campus, but she goes to my school, and people were looking for her. Like, it was all over WeChat groups, same thing as this guy. It was all over WeChat groups. And then as soon as they alerted the police, they found her like no time. It just transpired that she had visited somebody within Nanjing. It's just that she probably didn't communicate to any of her friends, so that's why they were panicking when they didn't hear from her. And like literally the information that came out was, this is the time she left this station, like subway station, and then she exited at this place, and then she transferred at this place, and then she went to that place. So that's how they got to find out about where the girl is. So that's why I feel like it's very easy to locate somebody. within this country. But then I feel like this guy's case, it dragged on for a very long time. Information just wasn't coming out, and the authorities were alerted about this, and they I feel like the response was very slow. And it turns out that this guy is actually in prison right here in China, which is very sad. I mean, in a country like China, where there are cameras everywhere, and then this guy was located, not really located, but the information about his whereabouts were released just recently. And it's now a second month. His parents, family back home, I can imagine they're probably just worried. Where's our child? What's going on? He's in a different country. We just don't know what's happening. And basically, even the parents did not get any information on why he's in prison. Apparently, he's been apprehended by the Shanghai police, or he's in a prison in Shanghai or somewhere around Shanghai area. Yeah. And I just feel some type of way about this. I feel like there was some sort of delay from the Chinese authorities to say that, I mean, even if somebody has done something wrong, it's okay to just let that at least the school or somebody in China, that next of kin, to say, this is what's going on. I'm fully aware that he's an adult, like he can represent himself well, but in a situation like that, at least somebody close to you should know where you are. And I feel like the authorities in China took a long time. You can probably land in police custody if you were found illegally teaching. Chinese, obviously their first language is not English, so they have a lot of foreign teachers, and sometimes students who are from English-speaking countries get jobs illegally, because you have to have a work permit to get a job here. So sometimes they get jobs illegally, and when authorities catch you, you are gone. Okay? So don't do it. Don't even try. Don't take that risk. Like, the thing is that it can be very tempting, especially as a student. You know, you look at your stipend if you're on scholarship, or you look at the money that your parents are sending you from home, and you compare it with the teaching money. You'll be like, dang, that's a lot of money. But then the risks, you just have to weigh the two. It's just too much. And the repercussions are actually quite severe. You can end up losing your scholarship if you are under any particular scholarship, or they can even send you back home, and that means you don't end up getting your degree. That means all the years that you spend here, you've just basically wasted them. And some people have been taken to prison, and the stories that you hear from such places are just horrific. I feel like there's no prison that prison is not a vacation, it's not a holiday, it's not somewhere where you just go to chill or to to let off some steam. It's a place where I guess they put you out there to really suffer. And the stories that we hear from people who have been there in China, it's just a nightmare. Well, you probably had an altercation with somebody, and you know, if that person is Chinese, then you know as a foreigner you're in the wrong. That's just how it goes. I've heard somebody tell me a story that his friend got into a fight with a Chinese guy at a bar. It was probably one of those where night out, you get drunk, and then unfortunately it just wasn't your day, and it's like this guy said something racist to him, and they ended up fighting. And then when the police came, the black guy was to blame. Just something as simple as that. You know, you go out, simple casual day, and then you end up in prison. Not just any prison, but a Chinese prison. So those things can happen in life, and I just feel like it's very sad. Last year there was in 2018 there was a case of an Ethiopian lady who was traveling back home. She had just finished her program in China, her studies in China, and she was on her way back home, but then she got to the airport. She couldn't transfer her flight because there was drugs in her luggage. And according to her family, communication was very difficult because it's like once you are under Chinese police custody, it's very difficult to have any contact and access to the outside world. And her story was just a bit touching because this is what her family and the family spokesperson were saying. They just basically said that somebody had asked her to carry something for them back home, and then that probably could have been what was the drugs in her luggage. And I mean, as a person, if you say that to the police, they'll be like, oh, okay, you're lying, this is your luggage, it's in your name, so everything in here belongs to you, so you have to take the responsibility. Which is, I mean, I don't know how this legal system works, but sometimes it's not fair. So we have now come to the end of this video, and I hope and pray for Alpha's family to find the answers that they're looking for, and also for Alpha, wherever he is, I hope that he's doing well, because he can't really do well in such situations, but I hope he's just coping with what he's facing. And I hope that because the police have confirmed that he is indeed in the custody, that it's nothing serious, it's nothing major, it's something that hopefully he can get away with, or just pay a fine, or I just hope it's not severe. It's not a severe punishment if he's at all guilty. My prayers are with him and his family, but the purpose of this video was just to say to foreigners in China to just be careful. We all know Chinese laws, we all know that they're very strict. Probably we know somebody who has gotten in trouble with the law, and we know the outcome, that it's never in favor of a foreigner. So the best thing to do is to just stay away from trouble, just avoid it at all costs. Yeah, that's all I have to say in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Stay blessed.